Hello, everyone, and welcome to another fantastic year at Next.io. Today, we are speaking about the 25 years of the industry and how they've challenged and how we've grown. From 25 years ago, we had the dial-up sound. And don't worry, I'm not going to shock you with any of that sound. I think it's all imprinted in our brain, kind of like a cat jumping on a piano. And that laptop up there, that's not a MacBook. That's actually an iBook. But as we progress in the 25 years, and 25 years, yeah, it's actually a 1 in front of that year, Bert. So, Sarah McLovin, it's just because you have a 1 in front of your year, that means everyone can be here. But the 25 years have really passed, and everything has grown. From dial-ups and arguing at your parents or your siblings, to having something, being able to download and hoping that it's the right song that you're downloading for the next 8 hours. To now, 25 years later, we have multiple screens, multiple platforms. You'll be playing your games, you'll be watching Netflix, you're speaking to your friends on your controller pad. And if you're anything like my kid, you probably have another three screens somewhere playing some other sort of media. Last year, we focused a lot about AI, and nothing has really shifted. But perhaps it's the focus of where we can really put our AI. And what we've done is we've focused on safer gambling. And with Playtech, we focused on BetBuddy as a safer gambling initiative. And where we focus is, what we've improved on our focus is that we have better automation. We've improved where we can see the players continuing what we can interject with their timeframes, and we can protect our players as we go. And when I came over here thinking about what presentation I should provide, I was seeing this AI era as something similar to what happened in the early 2010s, where it was the next era of the Go and the smart era, we can call it. And it brought me back to one of the presentations that I had seen from Simon Sinek, where he always spoke about the why. And even though you could have something that is great and you have a solution to a problem you're trying to find, you always have to make sure you find that why in anything. And it's not just, and if you can't find the reason to sell that pen, then don't sell it at all. In the smart era, we had a lot of kind of mistakes that you could call it. We had machines like this Juicero, which not only was for £100, but it was kind of redundant, as we saw. It was a machine that you basically had to sign up for a subscription packet to buy juice, and it squeezes it out. It sounds like something you could do with your own hand, right? Exactly. And 1 year later, the company had to shut down out of redundancy, an expensive one. After that, there was Porkio, which was an interesting product. As much as we really value healthy habits initiatives, what Porkio tried to do was every time they detect that you're eating too quickly, the fork vibrates, and then all of a sudden, it would detect on your phone as well. So it wasn't really solving anything. You could just use your hands, and no one really uses a fork to eat pizza anyway. To something like the Belty. It was a smart belt that could fit to your waist size and would retract and so on, depending on your exercise levels. And there were so many. What happens is when you rush too quickly, you get too excited, you just start thinking about, you're trying to find problems that don't really exist. So a lot of these solutions fail. But that's not always the case. We had an example like Crocs. It was used for a movie that it was a cheap product, as the designer had mentioned. But then it ended up being 2 years later, everyone's wearing Crocs. So it was a phenomenon, unexpected. And something about this movie, I think, translates again to what we're seeing upcoming. And the amount of media that is pushed forward into all of our screens in front of our faces. As we see on TikTok platforms and so others, it's a split screen where users are having two screens, whether it's Subway Surfers to relax them or entertain them. It's the relaxing ASMRs to keep them in tune and actually listen more. And it's becoming a phenomenon, and it's something that we should look at perhaps going forward, because it's always seeing what our players want, what our market understands, and how we can provide something for them. But AI will continue to grow, and so does technology in our platforms. And as we've seen the evolution of everything that we have created for the past 25 years, there's always been one thing in common. It's adapting to how the technology, the hardware has performed. And as we progress forward, this will only continue. As we saw 2 days ago, ChatGPT released the 4.0, new interfaces there. So this is only growing, and it comes back to our industry as well. We've had crash games, we've had slots, we've had land-based, we've had poker. Who would have thought in 2003 you'll be playing an online network poker from your living room? The next super important thing is that not only your product is good, it's what surrounds it, and how to keep the players focused and retain them, and keep them entertained and engaged. We do this through gamification. And gamification has worked in every industry, and it's working for ours. You have tools such as leaderboards, missions, free spins, and tournaments. And these are all things to engage the players, to take the players in like a quest going on their online experience. It's not just about spinning reels or playing card games. It's something more. You're doing it as a community to engage even further. It's what we like to call the amplified experience. So going forward is the best way to predict. The future is to always invent it and keep on innovating, keep on being safe to your players, and making sure you always find the why in the next creations that you create. Thank you.